The Apple phone's connected to the Vodafone, and the Vodafone's connected to the Google Zone. The Google Zone's connected to the Web Zone. Oh, hear the Lord of the Word. Well, the phone's connected to a browser, and it fits very neatly in your trouser. The browser connects you to the internet, faster than the fastest speed jet. Just the place for a quick bet. Oh, hear the Lord of the Word. It might get you onto Facebook, or teach you how to be a good cook. Find you some ladies for a good time. Now praise the Lord for the word. And that's a little poem to start us off by Paul Butters. And it's just a little poem just about the net and about the stuff you can do on the net. And we thought, why not open the show with a bit of class?
That was an extraordinary moment in the show's history. And of course, P. Butters would be your pseudonym.
Yeah.
Which you write under.
It is mine. I wrote that in August of 2015.
And it was the most creative month of your life.
Can't believe it's not butter, which is where the pun comes from.
Yeah, of course. I like to cover myself in Dove body lotion before I go on the internet because you don't want to get suntan off the internet screen.
No.
And it is bad to get too much UV.
Yeah, if you're it's late at night, you're in bed, and that light from the internet screen is hitting your face as hard as possible. Just cover yourself in suntan lotion.
I came in albino and I went out Peter Andre would be a quote you could attribute to the internet.
Yeah, I think so.
And welcome to the podcast. This is Nuthin But Net. It's a podcast by two broad boys who are just trying to make their way through endless zeros and ones to the two in the middle.
And it is a narrow pipe that we climb down.
Well, yeah, that is interesting to think about. The internet can go through, much like rats. The internet can actually crawl through very small spaces, and even on the spaceship, they got internet.
Yeah,
so it's going everywhere these days.
That's how they talked to Houston.
I think a funny satire that I could probably write when I grow up would be, Houston, we've got an IM.
That's good.
And that's obviously short for instant message.
AOL.
AOL.
And then you hear the little instant message.
Beep.
Yeah, owl.
You've got mail. A great film.
It is. Meg Ryan, Tom Hanks, who we're a huge fan of on this podcast.
Comes up almost every week.
Yeah.
We're a big fan of Tom Hanks.
Yeah. We are really here. And we've been looking at a lot of stuff on the internet this week. It's not special this week. Last week it was a GOC special, and you're thinking, is it going to be a special every week? No.
No.
Sometimes we just want to look on the web and we just want to see what we find.
If everyone was special, no one would be special. Some people have to be normal in order for other people to be special.
Yeah.
And that was always the myth growing up in my family.
So each episode, it can't be a special because we want you to think the special's the best episode. That's the best episode. So we got to put all this trash around it so you don't get lost in special after special.
This is sort of insular tubing that holds up your loft. And then the special episodes, as per last week, would be more like a nice treat on Christmas. I don't know, a gift or a meal. Yeah,
or a WebM.
A WebM. You know, one of the things about the internet is that there is a lot of trash on it because a lot of the hosts' data is just holding up the other main sites.
Yeah, there's a lot of main sites.
There's 3 or 4 main sites, and these are called capital cities. And then there's a lot of towns and hamlets, and these are called mini webs.
Yeah,
like Miniclip or My Mini Site or
Mini Upload,
Bluetooth.miniweb.com.
Yeah, basically, if you have to put mini in your type in when you type, don't bother, because you're just going to a prop up website. You're going to something that's made just to be there.
Yeah, a lot of these mini sites are actually maintained by the bigger sites because they're just trying to create the idea that, we're winning.
Yeah.
But there's, if there's no competition, you've not won anything. So you get the mini sites to kind of make Facebook look impressive to the stockholders, make Google look impressive to the stockholders. And it's insights like this that has made Adam and I very rich by playing the stock market.
I know Zuckerberg's creates 8 websites a day. Tom, formerly of MySpace, he creates 3 websites a day because MySpace doesn't need as much propping up anymore. But in his heyday, it was 15 sites a day.
So MySpace is pretty much a work in progress. That is plateaued. Everyone's on it now, and Facebook is still a grower.
Yeah.
So Zuckerberg probably earns somewhere in the region of £1 million a year, and probably Tom earns about 2, 3, 4, 5 billion pounds a year from MySpace.
2,345 billion a year.
And that's just a scratch on the surface compared to what the original Wordsworth himself, Tim Berners-Lee, earns, because he owns the whole net. Are you kidding me?
His gravesite is got hundreds of connections to the web, so even in death, he is connected to the internet.
What do computers like to eat?
Dunno.
Chips.
That's good.
What is a computer's first sign of old age?
Dunno.
Loss of memory.
That's good.
What do you call a space magician?
Dunno.
A flying sorcerer.
That's good.
And these are all internet jokes. What happened when the computer fell on the floor?
Dunno.
It slipped a disk.
That's good.
What is a computer virus?
Dunno.
A terminal illness.
That's good.
And here's the little pinch.
Judy Hour.
This is very original Judy Hour.
Yeah.
An easy go-between between 2 talented hosts would be a review that I'd write for this show, and probably will create a fake iTunes account in order to do so.
Yeah.
Any day now.
I've made hundreds of fake accounts, but I like to tank our podcast because that's the struts that hold up the good reviews.
Agreed. And
never look for the 1 between the 5. Always look for the 5 between the 1. Is what I've always said.
The internet is a lot like any number of rock songs. I love the way she struts. Oh, I love the way she struts.
And that's any number of rock songs.
Yeah. And I'd just like to go a quick thank you, a quick reference to where I got those jokes. It would be in bad taste to pretend that they were my original jokes.
Yeah.
So I got them from www.elon.edu/eweb. So this is actually an eWeb, and this is a Musk.
Yeah.
To tie back into a previous app.
It's a Musk City website.
And then that's /predictions/kidzone/jokes.
Okay.
So that is probably his prediction was, I'm probably going to make people laugh. He was probably thinking, I'm probably going to put it in the kid zone.
Yeah, because they're safe. There's no Rudies, there's no...
The terminal illness one was maybe a bit raw for children, but, they grow up fast these days.
Exactly.
And then
that goes over their heads anyway.
Well, exactly. They're probably just thinking of computer terminals, which is actually one half of the joke, which is enough.
Yeah.
Just like on this podcast, if you only like one of us,
that's more than enough.
That's enough.
Cover
that's the grade.
Cover one ear, cover your right ear to blank me out, cover your left to blank Ross out, and you can just listen to us talking to no one.
I don't want to say too much of the sausage is made, but actually Adam's been hitting up the audio design on this stuff. So it's interesting for me, the kind of non-techie, although I do actually know how to hack into many websites. I'm a non-techie in the audio department. So it's cool for me to hear how you're setting this up.
It's good.
Left ear, right ear.
Yeah, it's an all left ear, right ear. It sounds like what we want is the impression you're walking down the street, you're going to your favorite bread shop, you're going to your local bakery, or you're just going out for some pastries. You got me on one side, and I'm right in your ear, right next to your shoulder, and my face is resting on your shoulder, and you got Ross on the other, and he's leaning a little bit, he's a little bit further away, but it's still good because his voice is a little bit louder.
And playfully nibbling on your ear.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little kissy
at just every so often I'll flick the back of your neck. That's the impression we want to give you. You want your spine to tingle when you listen to this podcast. We only think you got 2 boys on either shoulder going down the road. And
it's sort of devil on one, angel on the other, isn't it? It's a classic good cop, bad cop, because I will, try and charm you over with sweet fondant fancies, and then Adam comes in and it's a sort of rollerblade fireworks show with blades on.
Yeah. So I'm the angel, you're the devil.
Yeah, I'm the devil because I'm trying to tempt these people to eat too many fondant fancies and they're going to get diabetes.
I just want them to see a cool rollerblade
show. Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's interesting to speak about our dynamic. And it's interesting to think about our readers. And by which I mean, a lot of people read the transcript of this.
Yeah.
Actually, many, many more.
Yeah.
That can stand to listen to it.
I'm surprised that our transcript has really taken off.
Mm.
It's really shocking to me, and there's a lot of really interesting techniques that we don't write the transcripts, we don't know who does, but whoever it is, he, she, they have really nailed my canter.
Their username is skullkid_fortitude.
Yeah.
And I'm having a bear of a time trying to work out what that even means.
I first thought it was skullkid_42. It's
Yeah.
fortitude.
Well, actually, on Skype, he does go by 42 because I think skullkid_fortitude was taken. And that puts me in mind of a certain Liam Neeson film.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go into that too much because movies aren't net.
No, there are no... We've said this before.
Yeah.
There are no movies on the internet.
No. I mean, there are little ones, little GIFs.
Yeah.
Or is it GIF?
You can go on YouTube, but you got a 5-minute time limit on YouTube, and they have not let that up once.
They were going to do it for a while for that, what was his name, Woozy Kid or whatever, the kid who plays video games.
Yeah.
The Swedish one. But then he was a racist, so they had to take it off.
Yeah. He erased it.
He'd erase it.
Yeah. So, no more movies on YouTube is, I think, the takeaway from that conversation.
And just before we move on to some of the more segments of the show and really get into the meat of it, because this is not a vegetarian podcast, get over it. What would you say, if you had to guess, our kind of core reader is? And again, reader, I say that advisedly.
Yeah, it's, he's a man.
Yeah.
He's in his late 20s to early 30s.
Okay.
He gets around on the net, but he doesn't know quite how to deal with the net. It's a bit of an overload to him, and he's feeling a bit of ennui about a situation in life, and he needs a reassurance. I feel like that's our real core reader is ennui, the 28-year-old. He's tall, clean shaven.
Yeah. Interesting.
And he's not traditionally handsome. But
something about
he's
him.
Not struggling for girls.
Oh, so he manages to find a way.
Oh yeah, he gets away with it.
He's charismatic.
Relatively.
Yeah. So he's just scraping by. That is interesting. I would probably paint a slightly different picture. I think, based on a lot of the data that I've been scrubbing into this week, it's a 60, 70-year-old Italian woman, very Italian, portly.
Yeah.
Not really getting the hang of computers yet, even let alone the internet. Probably her son took a long time, or her daughter took a long time to try and explain solitaire, and she seemed to have it. But then the next time her son or daughter came round, she had no idea. Yeah. And it's sort of infuriating to the child how little effort. I took hours to teach you how to use solitaire, and you're not even using it once. Yeah. I thought it could be one fun thing we could do is we could just have a quick little interaction between the two imagined. So you're Ennui, the 28-year-old sort of social savvy kid, and I'm probably like Mama Pasta. Yeah. And then we
60-year-old.
60, 70.
What we call on the podcast internet dolts, and that's not offensive. It's just what we call them.
And that is actually a technical term. Anyone over the age of 60 is an interdult, and the rest of us are just whippersnappers on the net.
And luckily for this roleplay, Mama Pasta's sitting comfortably at 62.
Just over the hill, but she doesn't look an age over 51.
She doesn't. She's young looking.
So
she's very squat.
She's portly as you like, but actually that's a good thing because she can, pick anything up. Yeah. Except the internet. So, for example, I'll come in and just imagine that I'm holding 6 or 7 tomatoes at once.
Obviously.
Hello. Who's there?
Oh, Mama Pasta, is it you?
Who's that speaking?
It is me, your grandson Henri. I've been on the internet looking all over for you, Grandma. Well, where have you gotten yourself to?
Oh, thank you, my only grandson. It's just so nice to see you on the internet. I forgot how to use my mind this week, but I'm losing my mind.
Oh, Mama, Grandmama, you're bigger than me, Mama, but you squat too small. You don't know how to use the Minesweeper. I show you I got a Minesweeper on my telephone.
It's not how they used to make it, it's how they don't make a woman like me anymore. Go down to Palumbo, none of these girls are so skinny. Have manal. Oh, ciao, bambini. Show me how to use my Minesweeper. I want to email my son in Florence. Your daddy.
Mama, I could have anyone in the whole of the world, but they would never compare to the way that you look at me. You are so smart and strong, but you're very small, I lie.
You keep it in your pants, Junior. You're a bigger, better boy. Now come on here. I want to make a spaghetti telephone. And see. And that's just the kind of casual conversation that actually happens every day on the internet.
Yeah, and it's weird that our two fans that we have really no idea who they are. It's weird that through that roleplay we found out that they're related.
Related in both
And there's a
sexes.
strange attraction, which I think
That was mostly your character.
really speaks about our characters.
And about
the real
people who would
people.
listen to it. Yeah. There's absolutely no way that someone listening to this right now isn't an Italian 20-something who's kind of immodestly attracted to his little grandmother.
Yeah, like that's just a fact, unfortunately. So, en we, Mama Pasta, thank you for listening.
On we go.
Yeah,
And so we start with some websites.
yeah.
You want
Right
to dip
to
our
the
toe in
segment.
the old internet? Oh, I forgot to ask. How are you?
I'm all right.
Okay, cool. Me too. So, do you want to get us kicked off, or did you want me to lead?
You can begin. I mean, I gave us a nice little poem to begin with. I've got a few more poems. I might close with a nice poem. But I've really found a lot of nice, just little poems about the internet. I can start us off with that while you bring up another page. And
Absolutely.
we can start each section with a little internet poem this time.
Oh, that's sweet.
So this is one called Breakup by Mark. It's not you, it's meme. You've got plenty of cats, so you'll be fine when I leave. I can't give you what you want right now, and time apart is what that warrants. We need the space immediately, and I'm not talking gravity torrents. We should see other people, maybe try plenty of fish. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Your happiness is still my only wish. We tried to make it work, but I see things slowly starting to diminish. What's the point of being unhappy? Why fight to the inevitable finish?
Terrific, Mark. Another slam dunk of a poem.
That's TC by Mark.
TC.
Yep, he doesn't elaborate.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
See if I care.
He doesn't need to.
A website that I found this week, and it's going to be hard to live up to Mark's poem, but this is a website called Boys Under Attack.
I think it already has surpassed Mark's poem.
I'll tell you two things about this website immediately. It's available in English or Russian. And on the right-hand side of the page, prominently displayed, is a stick of dynamite cartoon with the words puberty written on it. And that should tell you all you need to know about Boys Under Attack, or BAT. And one of the things about
It's an
BAT,
acronym.
BAT immediately opens. When we found out this in the GeoCity special, back in the old days, before websites were more inclusive and more corporate, they were quite prohibitive. And people liked to believe that they could get people to leave their websites just by asking them to do so. So immediately, this website opens with, this site is for boys only. And boys only is in caps.
Yeah.
It's got stuff, lots of stuff, about what's normal about your body. And it tells you the actual truth, not the crap your friends try and tell you. And that is an email from a 14-year-old boy in New Zealand. And that's how they've credited it.
That's a good testimonial.
And they've got a picture. And he's got sort of 90s hunk dreamboat curtain hair.
Yeah.
You know, like all the boy bands.
Oh, yeah.
So, this website, if you haven't already garnered from the intro, is a kind of step-by-step guide for boys about puberty.
Yeah.
Which is obviously one of the hardest, pardon the pun, times in any young person's life. Specifically a boy's life.
Yeah, most definitely.
This is a pretty exhaustive puberty guide, but there are some broad categories that I thought I could read out, and then you could maybe tell me if you've still got any concerns. I know that you're quite an old man, mid to late 50s.
Yeah, I am.
But I'm 14, as we covered on last
As a
week's episode.
14-year-old boy, you must be going through a whole heck of puberty.
Yeah, so this website is where it just came up in my usual day-to-day searching. I wasn't even researching for this podcast. Really, I was just trying to find out what the heck's going on underneath my nether regions.
Yeah, and back in my day, I think this will be an interesting sort of thing to look at for me as well, because back in my day, I am years old. So back in my day, we just got told, it happens. Get over it. It gets bigger. It gets worse. It gets hairier.
No.
Go back to school and drink your milk.
Life's a bitch, then you die.
Yeah.
Right?
That was my grandfather's.
Okay. So here are the kind of categories, if you like, and we can see what's interesting. And some of these probably will seem relevant to my life at the moment. Okay, 1, puberty, brackets, boy to man changes. That's helpful because who knows what puberty means. But if you put the number 2 in between the words boy and man, I'm going to know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Puberty begins when your body is ready, not when you decide. No one ever seems to be completely prepared for all that is about to happen during this time. Learn to accept the challenge. And that it's just a wonderful way of getting into the subcategories, which are erections, wet dreams, sexy dreams. Not those aren't 2 separate categories. That's again are specified.
Wet dreams, sexy dreams is 1.
1, erections. 2, wet dreams, sexy dreams. 3, gay. 4, masturbation. 5, lust. As if none of the previous ones encapsulate lust at all. 6, pornography. 7, virginity. And then big 8, penis. Most guys worry about their penis. Is too big or too small or too thick or too thin? I'm always worried my penis is too thick. Or bent. Or long. Or short. Or just plain different.
Yeah.
Nearly every guy worries about this. Especially in their teenage years. You're more likely normal.
Yeah, that's true. And that speaks a lot to me because my unit is bent like a boomerang. And it's a very harsh angle when it becomes aroused, and I actually have a very distinctive birthmark along the top of my penis that resembles the designs one would draw in a boomerang.
Wow.
Think of your average boomerang and make it pink.
No.
That's my penis. Much significantly, it's not to scale of a boomerang, I'll say that much.
Yeah. Boomerangs come in one size, otherwise they don't come back.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just physics.
That's why I'll never throw my penis away, because I don't think it's big. It's to scale enough to come back.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting insight into yours. I can't tell you anything about mine because I haven't seen it.
That's fair.
And that's probably one of the old family traditions in my family. Is just don't look until you're, old enough.
Well, that's a lot of our international listeners might not know. We are Scottish. We're from Scotland. There's a rule. It's not in England. It's only in Scotland. Until you turn 16, you're not allowed to see your penis.
Yeah, and it's just a government thing.
Yeah, it's not. It's nothing weird about it. No. We just accept it.
It's just not the done thing.
On your 16th birthday, you go upstairs, have a little look.
Is that you, laddie? Is that you 16?
See the damage.
Why don't you go up the stairs and have a look at your wee toucher?
Listen to your Uncle Tommy. Go and have a wee look at your penis.
You've been waiting for years now. It's your due.
And then you'll go up, you'll lift up your kilt. What's that under my sporran? It's my wee willy winky.
And that's Scotland for you.
Like to be a boy in Scotland.
Yeah.
So, Adam, I would ask that you pick one of these categories and then we can just explore this website together. Boys Under Attack.
I think wet dreams, sexy dreams is probably...
Okay.
I mean, I would have chosen lust, but I feel like wet dreams, sexy dreams really fits under that. I feel like, as you said, every single one fits under that.
Yeah, and I think one of the nice things about the wet dreams section is that it specifies you cannot stop the wet bed. at the header.
You cannot stop the wet bed.
So there's no point even trying, which for Boys Under Attack is a message that is both worrying but also in a weird way uplifting. Because you kind of, Sartre said that the great weight is that we have to choose. Mm-hmm. So as soon as you're lifted of that responsibility to choose, the existential threat of wet dreams is gone.
Yeah, the unstoppability of the wet bed really takes away any threat.
This is a good quote. I'm starting to feel a little bit worried about this website, and I will have to delete my browser history. But a quote here is, "My very first sexual experience was a wet dream. I was awakened to find something in my pajamas. I was sure I was sick." And then it just says 12-year-old boy.
Oh boy.
I mean, it just... They didn't need the quote. We know it's a real thing.
Yeah, I wasn't like, oh well, this is all unsubstantiated evidence about wet dreams. What I'm surprised with is this site doesn't really cover. Does it? Is there any other sections of the website?
There are every section I detailed initially. There are sections, and then it breaks down some of the terminology. Semen, the fluid in which sperm live, for example, or orgasm, intense feelings.
That's a very broad definition of orgasm.
I went to the symphony last night and I had the most incredible orgasm at the crescendo.
Cried for hours.
I think maybe what's happened here is that even though it seems that the English version is the default, actually the Russian is, and they've just translated everything back
Yeah, that's.
into English.
I would hope so. But what surprises me is it doesn't really cover a lot of the main parts of puberty. Really, I mean, those are parts of it.
Yeah.
But where's the part where your bones grow, or the part where your voice gets much deeper?
This is me, age 13.
This is me, aged 14.
And as we all know, at the age we've gotten to, it evens out.
Yeah, it go very low. And that's why they have a lot of sort of 13, 14, 15-year-old boys singing soul songs. And
Yeah.
obviously Barry White's career was time sensitive because by the time he turned 16, normal voice again.
Yeah, it bottoms out and it comes right back up. It doesn't go as high as it used to. Much like a Formula One car, the noise that it makes is similar to a Formula One car.
And you really pressed my Jensen button when you made that joke,
Yeah.
which is a Formula One joke. And that's a different podcast for a different day because I am obsessed with wheels and screeching the tires on the asphalt.
Yeah.
And I know you are too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the bit where they have their wheels and they bring it with them and put it in the car. That's something that you never do in your own car.
I wish that every car could just drive into the side of the road and then a team of dedicated people would come and fix the tires anytime they needed to, because that's helpful.
I wish that every car would drive to the side of the road, but I wish it would drive to the side of the road and make room for all the F1 vehicles.
I mean, imagine if every world was actually just a Formula One track and I could skate over the Atlantic Ocean in my Mercedes-Benz Formula One.
Yeah.
And that's just me saying magical incantations to get over the water.
And that's the intense feelings. For F1, if we're quoting boys under attack, or boys are attacked, F1 really gives me an orgasm.
Yes, and I wonder, actually, just to slightly change the subject, if that's where Batman comes from.
I assume
Boys under attack.
it must be.
You visit boys under attack, then you become a man. Boys under attack. Batman. You become Batman. After you go in
And I like
you're a man.
I like that it is bat. Boys under attack is bat.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a really good acronym for it.
I don't know what you mean.
No, neither
Boys
do I.
under attack. Boys at attack.
Yeah.
Bat.
That's
And
why
that's a
they're trouble.
website. Yeah.
Yeah.
Batman.
Wah, man.
One of the websites I've been going on a lot this week is Batman.com.
Yeah.
And you actually really shouldn't, because that is where Joker hangs out to give viruses to people who are on Batman's
Yeah.
side.
You've got bios of the Penguin. You've got bios of Mr. Freezler. You've got bios of Poison Ivy, and you've got bios of Harlan Quinn. So, Joker. Every time you click on, I want to see Batman's glider. Joker sends a virus down your pipe. So, that's the whole. Don't go on Batman.com, or
You
your
know-
boys will be under attack.
One of the good summaries of the whole Batman franchise would be Batman and Robin.
It would.
But it's Joker who's doing the Robin.
He is, yeah. Batman,
Robin Banks.
Batman Forever, and Joker's Robin.
Oh, actually, that's a very good idea for a comic. Now, I don't read comic books
No.
because I'm stereotypically blind. But one of the things that we could have in Batman and Robin would be a new comic where Robin is Joker's assistant.
Yeah. I don't read comic books, but I know for a fact that I've read that comic book and that happened.
I don't know why they don't do more Batman comics.
What I like to do is I like to watch the Batman cartoons, but I pause each frame and I read it like I put my own speech bubbles.
Oh, wow.
So I watch Batman, the dark animated man, and I just put my own speech bubbles over his head.
It's
so
the
he's not in
Ice
it.
Age, you idiot.
Yeah, it's all Arnie quotes. And that was a direct Arnold Schwarzenegger quote from Commando.
Yeah, because the Commando was a real documentary.
Yeah, about a commando who wants to fight the Ice Age.
Yeah.
Global freezing.
Which is actually a really interesting twist on Al Gore's book, Global Warming, which is fiction.
Yeah.
It's in the fiction aisle. I'm sorry, Saka. That is going straight to the fiction aisle.
Yeah.
Because there's absolutely no way that me putting my deodorant on is actually going to end the ice.
If I want to smell nice for a girl, the ice blast isn't going to drop anytime soon. That's all I'm saying.
Put it this way. If a few dolphins have to take a bath in order for me to get my Lynx effect on,
Yeah.
so be it.
Exactly. And I feel like you just said what I said, but significantly more coherently, which is
Yeah.
good.
I like to take what you've said and just kind of burn it down to the bare minimum of essential facts.
That's good, yeah.
I call it the bozo layer because you have to be an absolute effing idiot to believe in that.
Yeah.
CRAP.
Yeah. It's a real trap for bozos.
Yeah.
And they get stuck in that layer.
Oh hey, I'm a climate scientist. I've spent my whole career chasing after this made up thing. I'm totally about to come out and say it and lose my job.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
totally gonna give up my cushy academic tenure.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah,
And
that's likely.
It's like archaeologists that they want to prove dinosaurs existed. They don't.
Yeah, if dinosaurs were real, then they would still be here because diamond's actually the hardest metal known to man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're finding bones. Diamond doesn't rot away.
I would like to see Jurassic Park in the fiction aisle rather than in the documentary
I
aisle.
would. I feel like Michael Crichton has been given a real hard pass on his fact checking.
It's Crichton's law. You
Yeah.
can get up with any old shit and the public will lap it up. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
That is Crichton's law.
Yeah. And actually, Crichton, your time is up because we're on to you. And this is probably going to be a show where we come after you and it's probably going to be called The Crichton Factor. And we will catch you because we are actually internet detectives and that will be the podcast from now on.
Yeah. So
Because we got bored of the old podcast.
welcome to the Crichton Factor. We've started a podcast halfway through.
Welcome to The Crichton Factor. We've started a podcast halfway through.
Welcome to the Crichton Factor. So, I mean, that's just... It's a blatant lie by Michael that dinosaurs could come back.
I'm just going to Google, actually, to tie back to the old sort of podcast, really strong arguments against Michael Crichton's blatant lies.
Okay. Double check that.
How do you spell Crichton?
C-R-A-H...
H-O-N.
C-R-I-C-H-O-N.
Are you using the old Attic Greek alphabet?
Yes.
With oats in it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're actually now on michaelcrichton.com, which is the official website of Michael Crichton. And this, I like to call this website bullshit.biz. Because his business is actually lying.
Yeah, his business is bullshit.
Oh, great. This is funny. Michael Crichton's new novel is called Dragon Teeth. As if dragon have teeth, they have fire, for God's sake.
Yeah.
It would melt their teeth.
They've got forked tongues, but those are made of flesh, and flesh, as we all know, doesn't burn.
Dragon Teeth is a page turner. Yeah, good luck with that. Dragons next to pages. That's really funny and smart because they'll just set fire to it. With a meticulously researched history. Oh yeah, history, even though it's actually made up fiction. Really funny. And an exuberant imagination. Well, that bit's true.
Yeah, certainly.
Crichton's got one of the most exuberant imaginations in the whole world.
And that is not a compliment.
Having sold over 200 million books worldwide, Crichton's work reaches every sphere of the world. Hey asshole, there's one sphere and that is the world.
Yeah.
Every sphere of the world. Oh yeah, they're selling Crichtons on the moon.
Who in the hell wrote this?
Crichton.
He wrote it about his own book.
Another pig shit, bullshit fiction from Crichton.
Yeah, and I think one thing we can tie this back into our websites is a person like Crichton, dwarf, is going to hell because he doesn't believe in not dinosaurs, really. He doesn't believe... If you believe in dinosaurs, you can't believe in the Word of God because the dinosaurs were in the Bible. Hello.
Actually, the definition of God's love is the absence of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So if you really think that Jehovah is going to put us in bed with a fucking T-Rex, then you've got another thing coming.
Yeah,
and also global warming is made up. Fuck you.
You bozo.
Okay,
But-
and send these to Crichton.
Yeah. This isn't directed at you, podcast listener. This is, well, unless you are Michael Crichton.
Craigslist.
Yeah. This is directed only at Michael. All right.
Michael.
So cut out your Jurassic Park books. I don't want to see a Jurassic World 2. I've been to see all your movies because I shout in the cinema, no, and I don't want to have to do that again.
My throat is getting sick and tired of having to shout out about Crichton's movies.
Yeah, I've been kicked out of all the cinemas in Scotland because they reshowed Jurassic Park for my generation. And I went every single screener and I said, no way.
People try to put us down, but we know Crichton's lying around.
Yeah. You just talk
Talking about my generation. Yeah. And that is actually, guess some of the headings on Michael Crichton's website. I dare you.
Dinosaurs.
Yep.
More lies I've told.
Correct.
Just bullshit.
Listen to this. He tries to pass himself off as every profession, and he does it on the same page. He thinks his readers, and God bless them, they are dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
He thinks they're so dumb that they're not going to be able to read the word. Here we go. Writer, filmmaker, television. Actually, it would be television maker. Awards, visionary, doctor, programmer, teacher, adventurer. Oh yeah, Michael. You do all the above.
Yeah, you really adventure about these lies that you tell.
In 1979, Michael Crichton ditched his typewriter for a word processor, and he never looked back. Talk about being an early adopter. No, I won't talk about it.
We're early adopters of the internet, Michael. You don't know anything.
He taught himself basic. Oh, big whoop. Clues in the name, Michael. It's
Exactly.
basic.
Basic, alright? Don't be proud of yourself.
Basically, any shithead is comprehending basic.
Yeah.
That's what basic stands for. Yeah. And basically any shithead will read a
And
Michael Crichton book.
I don't think Crichton knows that because, as we all know, famously, Crichton can't spell. That's another facet of Crichton's law.
Yeah. No wonder he needed a word processor. He takes good words and they get processed and turned into
shit.
mulch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish someone would process all his books into the ground.
Here's some great titles for books. Not The Andromeda Strain.
Ugh.
The Terminal Man.
Oh.
The Great Train Robbery. Oh, that's pretty good, Sean Connery.
Yeah, okay.
Congo. Sphere. Spheres
Sphere.
again. Again with spheres. Jurassic Park. Rising Sun. The Lost World. Airframe. And then most recently, Dragon Teeth. Ugh.
That's the one that really gets my goat.
He should have called it Pulling Teeth. Because that's what it'll feel like to read.
It really will.
And I didn't read it.
No.
And I'm not gonna.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't want to see it.
I'm sick of this.
Every time I see it in my bookshelves, every time I see it in the Black Wells, every time I see it in the Whartons, I turn the books around so everybody has to read the blurb and read his lies before they look at the cover.
As if anyone asked the question, "Hey Michael, where'd you get your ideas?" "I wish I knew," he says, self-aggrandizingly.
Lies.
"They just seem to come from nowhere."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly, from nowhere. But I often think people put too much emphasis on the idea behind a story. There isn't just one idea in a story. There are lots of ideas. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Idea number 1, dinosaurs are real. Idea number 2, and they're alive now. Idea number 3, and we're going to put kids in with them. Smart.
Yeah. Even when he's making stuff up, he's making stupid stuff up. At least make up a smart book about dinosaurs if you're going to make up the dinosaurs were real.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give them diamond skin, for goodness sake.
If you want to do it, at least do it with the latest scientific knowledge that we have gleaned from our Bibles. Is all I ask.
Yeah. And this is, if you're an avid listener of the podcast, you know you're a month in, you're thinking, what's this odd change? It's sticking around. So just keep yourself seated in. So what we can talk about, Michael clearly has no idea what he's talking about, and liars, as we all know, go to hell.
Yep.
But I found someone on, this is ChristianForums.com, and they really found a way to try and prepare themselves for hell. So this is a poster on Christian Forums in a thread called How to Prepare Yourself for Hell. I know what most of you will say, but hear me out. If a person on this earth were absolutely certain they were going to hell, Michael, is there any way they could physically prepare themselves for such as place? I mean, ways such as subjugating yourself to immense heat, burning yourself with fire, gnawing on your own tongue and constantly immersing yourself in complete darkness? Would this help prepare someone for such a place? And the response is, no. You cannot prepare for hell. And I think that's something we should really... This is a very Christian podcast, I think.
Yeah.
Or it's certainly become one in the past 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I think that's going to stick around. Because up until now, we were kind of scrambling in the dark, trying to find a direction for this. And now we found one. And it really probably will be an hour a week of Christological attacks on Michael C.
Yeah.
If you go to michaelcrichton.com, you will find a speech Mr. Crichton delivered at Caltech in January 2003 entitled Alien Cause Global Warming, in which Michael Crichton proposes to trip a number of sacred scientific cows or myths. And this is from the article Michael Crichton is a Big Fat Self-Promoting Jerk by Cam Houston on the Daily Cam.
Is that really the title?
That is actually the title.
That's spot on.
And then he goes on to define, I don't think Michael Crichton is a fraud, which is fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't think he's a liar.
Yeah.
At least not in the sense that James Frey of A Million Little Pieces is a liar and a fraud. And I don't think he's mistaken. I think he's so full of manure that he's trying to wholesale it. Now, I could get worked up about his new book, A State of Fear. This is from 2006.
Yeah.
So otherwise he'd be talking about dragon teeth. Which purports to show that global warming is more hype than reality. Oh. Well, hang on. Well, then that's difficult because he seems to agree with us on the global warming stuff. Shit.
Well, how about...
Okay.
Because I've had a thought as well. I don't really want to disappoint Mama Pasca or Ennui.
No.
I don't want to disappoint our very, very loyal fans. So why don't we make Michael Crichton's bullshits a segment?
Okay. Although
It's
actually I'd like to
encapsulated.
wind it down. He's actually okay in my book. And Jurassic Park is very entertaining.
Oh, it's a good fiction.
Yeah, and actually the Stegosaurus is, in the way he describes it, I don't remember the phrase verbatim, but he says something like, imagine a long tube with spikes on the top.
Uh-huh.
And that kind of imagery is actually really impressive.
It's very impressive. I mean, he's a liar, but he's got a way with words.
Aren't all writers just magnificent liars? And he's probably one of the finest alive at the moment.
I was very incensed a minute ago, but when you referred to him in his full title, as we've been calling him, Michael Crichton, the Magnificent Liar, there's an air of grandness to it, really.
I mean, I think probably my mind is very quick, and it really does process things probably at the speed of light.
Mm-hmm.
But even my mind was taking a while to work out all the subtleties and innuendos in a Crichton novel.
Yeah.
And I think I just got it. And I think I just worked out, actually, Jurassic Park is a satire and very clever. And I'm starting to get this picture of the man that is actually very intriguing. And he might actually be more than meets the eye with Mr. Crichton. He is very smart.
As you know, your mind works at the speed of light. Mine works at the speed of sound, which
Twice
is
as
much
fast.
slower. Or it's a slow speed.
Yeah.
And it's much like a light switch turning on and off. So my opinions are very malleable.
I'm just amazed. I mean, I don't want to seem like a complete 180 man, but actually this Crichton guy must be pretty... If he's a doctor and an adventurer and a lawyer and a doctor and a writer and a visionary, then he should probably know a thing or two about bloody global warming. So when he says it's fake, I think all these pro-climate people should probably just eat it up. He wrote Jurassic Park, for Christ's sakes. Best novel of the last 50 years.
I've never read that article.
Yeah.
And, as you know, I can't read. So, I've never read Jurassic Park. Yeah. But I've seen the movie. I've seen the movie. Well, the funny thing is, I was actually a large contributor for the box office of the restart of Jurassic Park, of all the movies. Because I went to every single one. And what I didn't say was, after I said no, I stayed. And I watched the movie by myself.
Because they were doing screenings just for one. Screenings for one, loads of fun.
It's a DVD.
No, don't stop the movie. I'm enjoying it so much because it was crafted by the master writer, Michael Crichton. Wow.
Well, we can still call this the Crichton effect, the Crichton effect.
But we should try maybe.
It's a
instead-
positive spin on Michael.
I'm so sorry, Michael, about the misunderstanding earlier. I am a dumb serf bowing at your fine lap.
Yeah.
And you're the dinosaur
he's
master.
Probably. Yeah, I'm just gonna say he's probably the greatest writer of this generation.
Yeah.
I think, and it's really swayed me.
Yeah. It's nice just to get two sides of the coin, and then probably really before, even though we did thoroughly believe it, we were just playing devil's advocate to ourselves, even though we didn't know it.
I think so, yeah.
And the brain does take a while to do these things because it has two halves and they've got to come together.
Yeah.
Yeah. The breakdown of Michael Crichton in the bicameral mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, again, from us at Nothing But Net, apologies to you, Michael Crichton.
And I will be arguing, Adam, very strongly to change this to Crichton Cast from now on because any climate denier writer is a friend of mine.
Exactly.
And for God's sake, get out there, write to your politicians, write to your mayor.
Yeah.
It's not real, people.
Start a conversation about it. It doesn't. You don't have to write. You can write to your mayor. You can write to your politicians. It would help. But just go on the street with a big picket, a big sign that says, "Listen to Crichton. This is just bullshit."
Yeah.
And just we'll all band behind author Michael Crichton as the head of anti-climate change.
Oh, can we please?
I think that's something that is definitely going to happen in the next week.
Good. And I would like to just say, last but not least, fuck Al Gore.
Yeah, not a fan.
A liar. A
We
bad
could change
liar.
this to the Gore effect.
Yeah.
And just we could talk about, we don't... It puts me to sleep.
Cut out the gory details is what I say whenever I'm reading an article that partly features something about Al Gore.
Yeah.
I won't say give me the gory details, I'll say cut out the gory details.
Take out the Gore, please.
And if it was some sort of climate argument between my man Michael Crichton and Paul Gore, I'd probably say, I don't want any gore, give me the Crichton factor.
Yeah.
And that would get things across magnificently.
Yeah, is how we will, from now on, open each episode of The Crichton Factor, a new podcast about the best man and author in the world, Michael Crichton.
So thanks for listening to Nothing But Net. We had a pretty good run. It was 3 or 4 or 5 episodes even that we did.
And that was us shutting the door on Nothing But Net and opening the door to Michael Crichton Effect.
And then until we get bored of that, when we probably will flip back to doing Nothing But Net, which is a good podcast.
Yeah.
About the internet.
Well, I had a lot of sites I wanted to talk about, but since we're talking about Michael Crichton, we should probably just go back to Nothing But Net, really. I mean, Crichton Effect's had a good run.
Well, we've done the both sides of the argument. We've said pro-Crichton, we've gone anti-Crichton. You know, Crichton is in effect.
Yeah.
And now it is out of effect. And you know what, Planet Sensei fans, if he's churning out new novels like Dragon Teeth, we've got nothing to worry about.
And I think, we gave it... Now that I know he knows it's a lie, Dragon Teeth's a great idea for a novel.
Yeah.
What's more magical than a dragon's tooth, as I always say?
Oh. Martin, while you were talking there, I was just thinking about the evidence and the data that Al Gore was trying to present at his last speech. And actually, it's completely feasible, and the data does seem to support that humanity is having an effect on the climate of the planet, and that will have insuperable effects both on the geology and biology of our planet, but then also on our civilization, Earth, humans. So, look, there's a lot of moving parts right now. I am trying to figure out everything all at once.
Yeah.
And my head hurts.
And as I've said,
the internet, please.
Have I said to you before, show me an opinion, and like a light switch, I'll change.
Yeah.
I really have no opinions of my own, I think. And that's something that you really need on a podcast, is someone who just is completely malleable to anything, doesn't care. Not really doesn't care, but just doesn't really have the wherewithal to understand.
Adam and I are not great thinkers. We are great...
You came here to listen to two people read internet pages. You didn't come here to listen to Michael Crichton get lambasted or listen to Al Gore get blasted. You came here to listen to two guys get wasted on the internet.
And
so we're back. It's Nothing But Net. Thank you for indulging us.
What
Well,
happened?
Really
What happened when the computer fell on the floor? It's up to disc.
That's good.
And we're back, baby.
And we're just back. We're straight back into it. And I think that's the real takeaway from this whole experiment.
Yeah.
You really can't stop the internet.
Me and Adam will go a million miles away, and then like a big bouncy ball, it just pulls us back in.
Yeah, and it's funny you have been making jokes about the internet. Because as we say, this is a comedy podcast. We're just here to make you laugh talking about the net. But I found a little empirical test just to see how funny this podcast is.
Okay.
So I'll give you the questions and you can just answer them and let me know. And we should get a very conclusive result.
Okay, and this is Ross speaking now. That was Adam just then.
Yeah, we don't introduce ourselves anymore. You know, if all we and Mama Pesta don't need us to introduce ourselves, you don't need us to introduce ourselves, okay? And
Go back and listen to the previous episodes until you're familiar with our voices.
yeah, it's not that difficult. We have very different timbres. Ross is a more bassy timbre, which many of our fans have spoken about. Yeah, and I have a lilt above it, which is fine.
Yeah.
As you can hear, there's no harsh edge to my voice, and there never will be. So just get used to it.
Yeah.
Let us lull you to sleep, me on your left shoulder, Ross on your right, and just lie down and listen to the podcast. How much do you laugh at when somebody talks? Every word? Every bad joke? Every joke? What I find funny? Or never, I won't laugh?
Every word.
Every word. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know the more you laugh, the more popular become? Of course. Kind of, I guess. No, and I really couldn't care less about popularity.
Kind of, I guess.
Kind of, okay.
Yeah.
Choose which one you are. Sorry. Chose which one you are. Popular. Fight, no laugh. Hot. Don't need to laugh. Gossiper. Must laugh. Rich. Pay to laugh at your jokes. Jock. Fight with populars. Nerd. Laughs, not snort. Ugly. Be proud and crack jokes. Geek. Where are you when the joke is cracked?
I'd probably call myself jock.
Yeah, jock.
Yeah.
So that's jock, fight with populars.
Yeah, I fight with populars. Yeah.
Well, we just fought the popular opinion for 10 straight minutes.
Yeah, and then back again.
Why did you take this quiz? Because I didn't know how funny I was. I am so funny, I just wanted to prove it.
That one.
I don't know, I am not funny. I wanted to make a turnaround. I am hilarious. Are you kidding?
I was going to go with the second one, but actually I am going to make a turnaround.
Well,
So
I knew you would, so that's why I kept going.
Terrific. Thanks for, being on my side.
You tell a joke that your dad made up to your friends. They don't laugh. You yell, forget you. You make them laugh with something else you have in mind. You try to tell another good joke. You tell them they are idiots because they don't get it. Now, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but we've known each other for a month now.
Yeah.
Since we started this podcast, and you have made a joke that your dad made up to me, and I said, I don't think that's funny,
and I called you a fucking idiot.
You said you're an idiot, you don't get it.
Yeah.
So if we're being honest,
look, if my dad's making a joke, it's really, really good.
But then after you got angry, you made me laugh at something else you had in mind.
Well, then I slipped.
Yeah, I don't know if you had that in mind, but it happened. So I'm really torn here. But I just thought I'd put my 2 cents in.
It's hard for me as well because, Daddy knows best. But on the other hand, I slipped. So the other one.
The other one, okay. So you make him laugh at something else you have in mind.
Split the difference, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Which is funny to you? The Office? The Soup on E? Hannah Montana? I don't watch those shows?
Is there a question mark at the end if I don't watch those shows?
There is, yeah.
Then that one. Yeah, because I don't know what the shows are.
There's a 5-point ellipsis and then a question mark.
Excellent, good grammar. Is it the British Office or the American Office?
It doesn't specify, but I'm going to say American.
Then I'm going to go with I don't watch those shows?
Yeah. What do you think of the chicken crossing the road joke? That is such a weird joke and was funny in first grade. We know where this is. It's a funny joke. Idic. I have never heard it before. Idic, as we know, is internet slang speech for I don't care. With a K, because the other is a hard K. No bad joke.
Is there an option that says, why did the chicken cross the web to get to the other site?
I truly, truly wish there were.
Okay, but there is. And there is.
But there isn't. But I feel like that is a funny joke.
Go through the options again.
So that is such a weird joke. It is a funny joke. Idic, I've never heard it before. No bad joke.
I don't think it's a bad joke.
No. So
I
no.
definitely
bad
care.
joke.
I definitely care. So it's neither of those two. What were the first two options again?
It's a funny joke. It's a weird joke.
Oh,
But
it's
it's
a
a weird
weird
joke
joke
in a bad
and
way.
a funny joke.
Yeah.
Can you try and click in between the
I'll try
two
and
and
click
see
both.
if it... You just clicked
think
the
we
top
got
one.
it.
Oh, right, okay, good.
Oh,
Nice.
when we got a little slice of pizza, we got a little picture of a slice of pizza, and it says, funny. You're a funny person. Laugh on and keep bringing smiles to people's faces. You may not know it, but some people depend on you. Just they can smile. You're a lot like me. That's awesome. You'll do whatever for a good laugh. Pure awesome. You get
Nice.
pepperoni pizza. I hope you like it because you love it.
Oh man, that's a relief. I am
Yeah.
lactose intolerant, but I'll frame the pizza just for that to remember.
That's a quiz on https://www.quotev.com/quiz/1644009/how-funny-r-u, and that's by I'm Funny.
Took his own test evidently and,
Yeah.
and passed with flying colours. Yeah, well that's really nice.
It really brings us
I've been
back on
having
track, yeah. I mean,
I've had a really difficult week, and obviously it seemed like Nothing But Net was coming to a sharp end
yeah.
to be usurped by the Crichton factor, and then I've had to struggle with a couple of pretty difficult volte faces in my perspective on climate change. But now all that's behind me,
Yeah.
and then much like a dinosaur, I've just got my whole life to look forward to.
Exactly. You could say about the whole Crichton effect, after we've just had a great quiz, Idic.
Yeah, Idic about Crichton.
Idic about Crichton.
Yeah, I know where you look
Idic
at
about
it.
Gore. Idic about climate change. Idic about I just want to laugh.
Idic about the sphere, or
Yeah.
any sphere.
I just want to have a laugh. Yeah.
And my pepperoni pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that is probably the philosophy that we're trying to get across in this podcast, and on
Yeah.
any podcast.
Yeah, the internet's just a smile away. It's what we always say.
The internet, where is it? Well, it smiles and smiles away.
Yeah.
And it goes on forever.
Yeah. It never ends. And this podcast will never end because there'll always be something to talk about.
And I'm so sorry that people don't like the bassy tone of my voice.
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah, they can go jump off a cliff, really, as far as I'm concerned. Idic.
Matt Lydiard, a dick.
Yeah. Idic about it.
Matt Lydiard, a dick.
No, that's a good joke.
Yeah.
That's a good internet joke.
Yeah. And what do you think are Mama Pasta and Ennui think about this episode?
I think Ennui's gonna be savvy about the episode. He's gonna know these boys will come back around. I know they're going to talk about Michael Crichton. They're going to talk about Go, but then they're going to come back to the podcast, which is his voice. Has always been his voice. Mama Pasta, on the other hand, she's gonna be scared, but she's gonna be okay.
What do you think about President Trump would think about this podcast? I know you've been lining up this impression for weeks.
He'd think this internet is a real disgrace, and I don't know about it, but I sure do like it.
Wonderful. And it's just like having him on set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like if Trump barged into the room,
Barfed into the room.
took his microphone out of his pocket, and just had a little word to himself in it.
Well, tell each and every one of you, I don't like the internet, and I hope that we don't have to listen to any more internet. Sad.
Yeah,
And that's another great one. That wasn't Adam, that was me, even though they were identical impressions.
they're spot on. And the thing is, it was Ross, not Trump,
Yeah.
which I think is something that you, no offense, probably didn't get until we just told you.
Yeah, you're really smart, you're politically savvy, like a lot of people who listen to this podcast, you're real politico, but bad luck, you got fooled this time.
Yeah. Try better next time. Understand that this is a podcast where we can flip up our voices and change them in 100,000 different ways, and you'll never be able to stay on your toes.
And one of the things that you will see a lot on youtube.com, which is a website we've not been a lot on,
No.
and it's not because it's visual, it's because the videos are too short, as we covered earlier. They're
Yeah.
only 5 minutes. It's not enough to talk about.
Exactly.
Whereas Crichton's written thousands of words, and that is enough for us to sink our teeth into.
Yeah.
But anyway, one of the things you will find on YouTube almost all the time is just really funny. You know, often guys who also have game channels who will do 100 impressions in 100 minutes.
And they're good. They're all good impressions. Stewie Griffin.
Yeah, they're
Peter
different ones.
Griffin. Lois Griffin.
Yeah. Mork
Mork.
from Orc. Nano.
Mork from Ork.
Yeah, Mindy's mate. And I think this is something that we've been actually building up to for months now. Even before we thought about starting the podcast, me and Adam have been working on this.
Years.
This goes back in perpetuity. And we're going to try and do 100 impressions in 100 seconds.
100 seconds.
And so the way that we work this out is that we've got a list of impressions in front of us, and we're just going to go tennis style, just tit-tat, tit-tat, tit-tat.
And you don't have to... We're not going to list who they are.
No.
Because you'll get it.
And here's a little foible. We're going to have each and every one of them say the name of this podcast, Nothing But Net.
Okay.
So here is... If you're happy to close up the episode on this.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So before we do it, should we give our internet grades?
Yeah. Okay.
So how was the internet for you this week?
It was good. It was superseded slightly by Crichton, but we got back on track.
Cool.
So I think we're gonna be sitting at an A++.
And I'll give it 2 stars
Yeah.
out of 2.
Yeah.
And now we will go and do something that's never been attempted before in any podcast. 100 impressions in 100 seconds.
100 seconds. Okay.
Okay. And would you like to start?
Okay. Let's just prepare ourselves, center ourselves for a second. This doesn't count on the timer. Okay.
Okay.
So 100 seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1. Nothing but net.
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 Nothing but net. Nothing but net. Nothing but net. Nothing but net.
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net. Nothing but net. Nothing but net.
Nothing but that.
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net. Nothing
Nothing
but
but
net.
net. Nothing but net.
Nothing but net. Nothing but net. Nothing but net.
Nothing but net. Nothing but net. Nothing but net. Nothing but net.
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net.
We did it. Bye.
Good night. Bye.
Upward.